You guys have your number?
Yep.
Is the Pope Chicagoan?
Ew, Sox fan or Cubs fan?
Sox fan.
All
Right, we're ready.
Accurate. Okay. The GOAT to Buzzsaw.
Of F1.
Mm-hmm.
No.
To Drive to Survive.
In terms of our ranking.
Yeah. No, I know.
Otherwise, it's obviously Will Buxton.
I'm gonna go Pierre Gasly.
Oh, that's a bad answer. I disagree with that, but okay.
But he's going based off of Drive to Survive. So like,
I
I
think
think
that's still a bad answer.
no, I think I know how he
season one.
feels about him. Okay.
This is just vibes.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just think your vibes are off.
How good are they in comparison to who you have winning the Indy 500? The person you have winning the Indy 500 being the 11.
These speakers go to 11. Do you guys get that reference?
Spinal Tap. Great movie.
Nice job. Why not just make 10 louder?
Because
These go to 11.
Yikes. I don't know that one.
Okay.
Shocker.
That's tough. I'm gonna say I'm like searching for an answer because this is tough.
I'm not making it easy on myself at all either. But
I'll be honest, I don't even understand the question.
I understand. He's asking me if the person that I have winning the Indy 500, which we'll reveal later, is an 11.
Okay.
On the grading scale, where do I place this person? Like, so if it was
Compared
like a 10, it would probably be Max Verstappen.
Yeah. All right. That checks.
Okay. I'm gonna say, and I don't even feel good about it because I'm running through all these people in my mind right now, and I can't even think of them. Franco Colapinto.
Now I'm really messed up.
So Ryan, what is your answer?
So I got Pierre Gasly being the GOAT
of Drive to Survive.
Of Drive to Survive. And then in comparison to who you have winning the race, Franco Colapinto.
Which was just a bad question, though.
Like I'm going to take a guess and it's going to be nowhere close.
Okay, well, yeah, that's how the game works.
I'm going to guess a 6.
Hey, you're actually close.
What is it?
4.
4. Okay. That's not
all right.
But
why do you think Pierre Gasly is a 4?
I don't think he's that good.
They spent an entire episode on him.
Yeah.
He's super chill.
Really
he's like my second favorite driver.
So he in the first few seasons. So I watched seasons 1 and 2.
I forgot.
And he rubbed me the wrong way during those. And ever since, he was I don't know, something about him. He reminds me
French.
of who's the guy in Monsters Inc. he's like a chameleon?
Oh,
Randall.
He reminds me of Randall from Monsters Inc. And that's just
that's wild.
That's hilarious.
I'm sure he's a great guy. Like he doesn't. I don't hate him.
I think he's a very likable guy.
Yeah, I'm sure I could have dinner with him, and he's a great guy. But just Netflix does some people dirty.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what is your guys' perspective on Nico Horner? Because they treat him
Nico Horner or Nico Hulkenberg?
No, who's the principal? Christian Horner. Yeah, whatever.
Nico Horner's on the Cubs.
Him too. I'm putting all these sports together.
Listen, I think that he's overrated. His BABIP is way out of line. No, Christian Horner, I think he's underrated.
What's your take? McHugh doesn't seem to agree.
He's still thinking about Nico Horner.
Yeah. Go Cubbies, though.
You want to know what I think about him?
I'm as a man or as a team principal?
I think it's hard to judge one without the other.
I disagree.
As a principal,
as a man, he's a 0. As a principal, he's a 9.
I mean, I don't know. How did the Red Bull fans feel about him this year? Honestly,
I have no.
Yeah, that's true.
You have multiple world champions.
Yeah, I mean, you have to like him. Like he's one of the best team principals because he's won so many championships over the past.
He's also been in the sport for 20 years with one team.
That's pretty cool.
Like every other besides,
he took Vettel to a championship. He took Max to a championship.
But if you think about it, besides Toto Wolff,
Mhm.
I think every team principal was hired within the last 3 years, maybe 4. And those are the 2
Yeah.
longest serving ones. He's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's no arguing about it. He
Yeah.
has the results, right? We're a results-based sport.
We are.
We're a result-based podcast as well.
And we are. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of The Rear Wing Report. We just played a little Wavelength, fun little game. We have a special guest today, Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw, say hello.
Hello.
And we might have more special guests later on as well. We are live from Indianapolis, Indiana. And today we're going to be talking the Christmas day of motorsports, as well as the rule changes coming up for Monaco. We'll kind of give our takes on Monaco qualifying as it was. And then we'll do some trivia along with a circuit overview. And then finally, we will have our bold predictions. Once again, all with our special guest, Buzzsaw.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
The goat is here.
He's a 10.
He's a 10. Yeah.
Thank you.
Goat status. You're getting my 10, absolutely. So
I appreciate it. Well, this podcast is a 10, really. It's my new number 1. Can't get enough of it.
oh, stop it.
Everyone should like, subscribe, share it with their
Rate and review.
friends and family. Yeah, 100,000,000%.
Do you know the inside joke?
Yeah,
Share it with your who?
Share it with your hoot.
He doesn't listen to that.
Your mailman's grandma.
Yeah, or your mailman's grandmother's mailman.
Right.
Yeah, either one would be acceptable.
Yeah.
But so let's just jump right into it. So we are in Indianapolis for the Indy 500. My 9th time going. Your 2nd?
I went when I was really young.
Okay.
I am an Indianapolis native.
That's true. Native of the
when I was
land.
a child. Yeah,
Okay. So how many times do you think this would be for you?
should be like 4.
4? Okay. And then
Oh,
McCube?
I'm the rookie here. I got 2. It's my 2nd year under the belt.
2nd. So there you go.
Well, we're not there yet, but
Yeah. And of course, tomorrow morning as well, we'll wake up and watch Monaco.
Yeah.
And then we have the Coca-Cola 600
right.
as well in the afternoon. So people are calling this the Christmas of motorsports.
I love that.
How do you feel about Christmas?
I love Christmas.
How do you feel about the
Amazing.
Christmas of motorsports?
I don't think there's been a better weekend in my entire life, to be honest.
Wow.
Indy 500, unbelievable, and all the other races as well. Crazy. Lots to talk about. and I
He's
love
in it for Andy.
Yeah. My DraftKings
Yeah,
account is going to go crazy with the help of these 2 fine gentlemen because they're very knowledgeable.
I don't know about that. We've been on a little bit of a rough streak as of late, so.
But yeah, so have you ever watched all 3 races in a day?
No.
No.
No, I didn't. Last year I didn't watch Coca-Cola.
Yeah, because it was rained out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had our little rain out scenario last year with Indy 2 where we had the rain delay. So it kind of made things a little bit more complicated. But I think tonight's going to be a long time for the boys, or it's going to be a long 24 hours. We've got a lot of races to cover. But let's start off where we started the day today. We took our little trip down to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And on the way down, we had Monaco qualifying. Steve and I had put out a little video, or Steve, we don't use those names anymore.
You can call me whatever you want.
Coach Bell.
Well, you gave yourself a nickname too, so.
Yeah, I gave myself the name Buzzsaw while there isn't already an existing Buzzsaw.
Well, and then you
he's
said
a little upset
the
about that.
Q-ster was the other one you called?
Q-ster was sweet.
Cue ball?
I like that one.
Yeah.
Cue ball. That's good.
Q-tip.
There you go.
QT.
That is non-copyrighted, by the way. Sorry, ChatGPT. Allegedly, that's my nickname. But yeah, so on the way down, we watched Monaco qualifying. Well,
I
listened.
drove.
Yeah, Steve drove. He did not watch, but we did okay with our predictions, at least myself. So we posted a little video on Instagram yesterday morning, putting out our predictions because we didn't want anybody to think that we were cheating.
Not that we would have thought that anyway, since we get everything wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if we cheated, we would probably still have the same results. So,
Yeah. So,
I don't know. What did we have, Steve?
well, you said your top 3 for qualifying was Piastri on pole, Leclerc 2nd, and Norris 3rd.
And you laughed at me.
I did laugh at you.
You laughed at me.
A little mea culpa. I said, I believe Ferrari has been terrible. Why do you think they would be on the podium or even in the top 3 for qualifying? And I should have actually looked at the statistics for Leclerc. It's been like a clean sweep the last like 2 years when it comes to free practice sessions, etc. But I still don't have faith in them. Monaco is such a super specific circuit. But you do get a point. I will highlight it right now within our little tracking sheet. You do get a point because Leclerc was in second place. So our top 3 for qualifying. Do you want to share that out with everybody?
Yeah. So Norris put in a great lap for Q3, and he qualifies P1. I was pretty accurate in my predictions. I had Norris in third, but so we go Norris, Leclerc, then Piastri, and then we're rounded out a little bit later on. But 3 out of 3 for me, just not in the correct order. But it is what it is. What did you have? What was yours again?
It was all wrong. I said Piastri, Norris, and Russell, who decided to not compete in Q3. But I think that the interesting thing was that in qualifying, the McLarens went out super early for their second run, and Norris set provisional pole, and then Leclerc beat it. But they had gone out so early that they actually had time to complete another flying lap. And then he kind of came back at the end. So we kind of saw a switch up in strategy from them. Instead of trying to be one of the last to cross the line, they kind of were like, hey, let's get a 2 for 1 there. So they actually had 3 flying laps in Q3, which was interesting.
Yeah.
So,
hey, does it count if the mechanics or the cleanup crew? I don't know what the technical term is.
The FIA.
The FIA, they're on track support team. I don't know what the technical term is. Does it count as a full lap if they push you all the way back to the garage?
I mean, yeah, those Mercedes upgrades are coming in strong.
Yeah.
They got 4 extra horsepower or men power.
Men power, yeah.
But Buzzsaw, what did you think of qualifying?
I thought I was not shocked that George Russell did not finish. Generally, it is under his own doing. However, it seems like how's Mercedes? They've not been too fantastic this year in terms of the car, or
no, they've been pretty good. Consistently
fluke weekend, or
second or third best team.
Okay.
Well, they put the flex wing back on. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so in qualifying in I think it was Q2, they put or maybe it was free practice 3, I get them mixed up. They put the flex wing back on. They had a stiffer wing, and then they put the flex wing back on because they weren't liking the results. But, really disappointing showing by me. I had the Mercedes of predictions for qualifying.
Yeah. I don't know. You were high on George Russell there, and I was not. I just didn't feel it this week. We all know I'm a vibes guy. I go with the vibes, and I just make decisions under pressure, and I feel like I did pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I want to predict something crazy for the race tomorrow, but we know it's Monaco.
There will be a pass on track.
I don't know. I'm sure there will be a pass on track, and I'm honestly gonna go with I think there's going to be a crash on track within the first lap too. Okay. There's going to be a little incident going into turn 1. I can tell it's going to be in the. It's going to be in the a little incident. It's going to be in the back of the pack. I just am assuming it's going to happen, but even to go a little bit farther into our order for tomorrow's race, after our top 3, it's Lewis Hamilton, but I don't know if that's.
He got a grid penalty.
Absolutely true.
Max
so he's
Verstappen.
One place, right? It's just
3 places.
3 places. Okay, so. I don't know if this is even updated at this point, the list that I was looking at from earlier.
Why don't you talk about Lewis Hamilton and your thoughts about him, and I'll pull up our stats here.
The full results. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be a big weekend for Ferrari. I thought it was going to be a big weekend for Charles Leclerc. I don't know, the stat that I used to kind of make my decision was that Ferrari has been in P1 for the past 3 out of 4 years in Monaco. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty consistent. They obviously every team has to take a kind of a different approach to Monaco. They have to have different setups completely compared to all the other races we've had so far, just because it is such a tricky little track. So I don't know. I thought it was going to be a big weekend for Charles, and I guess I kind of preemptively threw Ferrari in there in total, but Lewis Hamilton putting in P4 is pretty good, but then you have, the grid penalty for impeding.
Yeah, so he gets the grid penalty for impeding, which 3-place grid penalty bumps Max Verstappen to 4th, Hadjar goes to 5th, and Fernando Alonso goes to 6th, and Hamilton slides down into 7th. Esteban Ocon, Liam Lawson, and Alex Albon round out the top 10.
Okay.
So I think the thing that is exciting for me, I don't know how aware you are of strategy, Buzzsaw.
I am a little bit.
All right, I know you've been doing the work. He's been putting in the time.
Monaco, you don't want to change those tires.
Did you see last year Kevin Magnussen slowing down for to create a gap for his teammate?
Yes.
Okay, Nico Hülkenberg. So I think that actually that we might see something similar in terms of Hadjar and Verstappen, right? Because Verstappen's just in front of Hadjar. So if we get that start, I could see Hadjar driving slow on purpose, kind of backing the pack up, creating that space for Verstappen over an extended period of time to allow him to pit and then still come out in free air. So I'd be interested to see the gamesmanship that happens there, kind of the back and forth on the pit wall.
Yeah.
That we might get.
Hadjar did a great job of it last week in Imola.
He did a great job this week qualifying. And,
yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So,
better than some other rookies.
Well, more than his teammate as well.
Yeah.
He's
his
probably the
teammate
best
still made
rookie
it
of the
into
year.
Q3. Liam Lawson made it into Q3. That's pretty impressive.
Sure.
He's not sold.
I mean, when both George Russell and Kimi Antonelli didn't set times, in Q2, sure. Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah.
But speaking of strategies, though, we got to talk about the mandate for this year with the 2 mandatory pit stops that you have to have in Monaco.
Yes. So the FIA came out and they met. I don't know.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh.
I know the strat beforehand was
so now we're throwing a wrench in there. Yeah.
Breaking news for you. So
I know
the FIA met and to kind of encourage and increase competitiveness and the lack of ceremonial procession in the race. They mandated that in Monaco, every driver must complete at least 2 pit stops. So the normal rule is you have to run 2 different compounds. They still have to run 2 different compounds, but they have to run at least 2 different pit stops. Now, that's as long as it is a dry weather race. If it's wet, we're a little unsure on how that's going to look. But overall, the thinking is when you get strategy in and make people choose, do I pit now? Do I not pit now? Etc. You're going to have a lot of different strategies, all converging at different times. Like maybe somebody pits super early and then so they have their first one out of the way. And then they're hoping for like a red flag after everybody else pits. They're in the front. They hope for a red flag and they can make their second pit stop because they would be changing tires at that point in time. And then they would technically be able to win. So there's a lot of different thought processes on how this will play out. But in general, have you watched the Monaco Grand Prix before?
I have. I actually have a question. Why do that instead of just go somewhere else?
Because Monaco is a historic circuit.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like having the Indy 500 somewhere besides Indianapolis.
Can they get smaller cars?
I would love if they
Why make it about the strategy? Why not? It's not about that's kind of.
Buzzsaw, I'm with you. I've been complaining about the size of the cars all year.
Just boot it. Just get it.
No, you can't get rid of it. It is a staple of F1.
It looks sick.
When people think of
awesome.
F1, they think of Monaco. Yeah, it's a really cool race, and like
could they raise their taxes and widen the roads possibly?
We gotta take a quick break.
All right, well,
we gotta take a quick break.
All right, and we're back. We actually have another special guest. We got Buzzsaw, and by a wild coincidence, we have one of our top listeners on the podcast, Michael Ruka. Am I saying that correctly?
That's correct. Michael Ruka.
He commented that he was going to be at the Indy 500, and we actually were checking in, and he saw us, and so then we invited him onto the show. So welcome, Michael, to the Rear Wing Report.
It's good to be here, guys. It's good to be here.
Hey, there we go.
Have you ever been on a podcast before?
This is the first.
Oh, wow. Well,
long-time listener, first-time participant.
Whoa. Fair enough.
Super fan, Super Bowl, Super Pope, Super Bears.
Yeah, there you go. Super Monaco.
Super Christmas weekend.
We were just discussing.
It's just like Christmas.
Ryan's been doing his research on Drive to Survive.
I'm
he said
F1 expert.
He said, "Why don't you just move Monaco away from Monaco?"
Sucks
because
it's really boring.
It's very processional. But then we got into smaller cars, etc. And it reminds me, like Monaco can be really fun. So, like in 2009, Jenson Button realized, so they didn't used to give out points for every position in the top 10. It used to just be for a few positions. I think they went up to like 6. That went
to
there
earn it.
8 at one point. So, anyways, he realized he wasn't going to win. B, his point streak was in jeopardy. He passed 6 cars in the last 6 laps to win the race in 2009 when the cars were much smaller. So, like, you used to actually be able to pass.
Mm-hmm.
They're just
not anymore.
Yeah, they're just unwieldy. So you need to change the cars. Why would you change a historic? Should we change the Indy 500?
I think they should all get Monaco cars.
I
love
disagree.
that. I honestly love that.
Yeah, they should get a Monaco car.
I think they should have to run like they should be allowed to mess with the car, but they have to keep the same size car from like 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. And it's like, hey, put the updated safety grades on it, and then you have to run that car.
Bring back the V10 just for Monaco.
Like if Mike and I were watching this, that would be very boring. You know, they're talking a lot of heavy strategy, and sometimes I don't understand.
I mean, how many passes really happened at Monaco?
Not a lot. I think it was the top 6 started and finished in the same order. There's not a ton of passes, at least on track. But like,
is it all pit passes?
I hesitate to say all, but the majority of passes are pit passes. So that's
in 2024, there were 4 overtakes.
On track.
That's AI overview, though. So
yeah, allegedly,
yeah, there was.
Ask
4
it if
overtakes.
it was lying to you.
Hey, are you lying to me, Google?
Oh, you use Google? That's not even like the good AI.
It was the Google AI.
It's an AI.
That's fair.
They're all about the same.
But so Mike, you've been listening to podcasts for a while. What do you do?
So I'm in supply chain software. It's not nearly as fun as being a coach.
Well, I thought you were going to say as it sounds. It doesn't sound.
Sounds pretty fun.
No, it's not. It's not.
I'm a big numbers guy. If you listen to last week, I had to calculate how many hot dogs it would take to get around.
You had a lot of numbers in the last week.
Just wait.
It's bad. I'm not a numbers guy. I can't do it.
So, Mike, what do you know about Monaco?
It's legendary.
See? Legendary. That's why they don't move it. You don't move the Indy 500. You don't move Monaco. You do move the Bears out of Chicago.
That's what I was about
it's
to
like 24 hours of like these are legendary races.
Yeah. And so when I saw you in the hotel, well, when you saw me and then we talked, as fans often do to us,
Often.
but when we saw each other, we met in the vestibule of the hotel, and I said, like, hey, you should come on the pod. You said, hey, I don't know a whole lot about F1. I'm not an F1 expert. And I said, that doesn't matter. You know, you're a top commenter. You've reached out. And actually, you won. You sent us the first email. So he was the first emailer as well. So this is his surprise. Congratulations, you're on an episode. But if you had to go to an F1 race, or you got to go to an F1 race, not had to, got to go, what race would you choose to go to and why?
I'm going to Austin.
Oh, Coda.
I'm going to Austin. Barbecue. I need some Terry Blacks in my life, and they have that there.
Are you a big foodie?
I am.
Your brother's been to the Austin F1 race, right?
My brother has been to the Austin F1 race.
Also a possible listener of the show. Shout out to Mike's brother. So there you go. But okay, so how many like F1 races do you think you've watched in your life?
2 might be a lot.
2? Oh, okay. Well,
might be a lot.
So you're just a really big fan of the show, not of F1.
I'm a big Indy guy, and you guys do reference Indy.
Big Indy guy.
Rarely.
We're going to be referencing Indy quite a bit on this episode. But should we give the same question to Buzzsaw over here as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, if you had to go to an F1 race, got to go to an F1 race, which one are you choosing?
I got to go. I'd probably go Monaco.
Why is that? After you just spent the last 5 minutes
It's
legendary, right?
It's legendary. It's the greatest race of all time.
Okay, yeah. I mean, hey, that's fair. Like, we've discussed when we hit it big, where we're gonna go first. But do we ever decide? You never did answer me.
No, I said that I would go to Spa, and you said
no. I said Spa. You never answered. You liar.
No, I didn't answer it, but I don't know. I would love to go to Monaco, like obviously, but I don't. I want to go for the race, so like probably Silverstone, something like that. Just in
Good.
terms of like, hey, I'm actually gonna be watching racing. It's just like the Indy, like you're actually watching racing. I always, there's been a lot of debate on X over the past couple of days of like F1 fans, NASCAR fans, and IndyCar fans have all been kind of like merging together this week. Like, and people are just like, well, my sport's better than your sport. I'm just like, okay, everybody likes their own thing.
It depends
like,
on what you like.
that's like,
right?
well, that's like my dad, listener of the show, loves NASCAR, and he's like, I'm like, Dad, I don't like the whole idea of going in a circle. And then you took me to Indy last year, and I was like, okay, circles are cool. I like circles.
They're ovals, not circles.
Well, whatever.
Well,
you
they're
know what I mean. They're in the circle family.
Street.
Circle adjacent.
Circle,
you know.
Jason.
So yeah, I mean, it just depends, and I think Silverstone is a great track to kind of like see what I would want to see. I'm a huge driver on the F1 game, so it's probably my favorite track to race on, honestly, other than Imola. But
Fair enough. I like Monza, but if I had to go to a race first, I would choose Monaco.
It's legendary.
it's legendary.
When you say
Yeah,
Imola, you
we're
mean
going.
the race that was last week that has
Yes.
a very long name?
Emilio Romano won
Yeah.
Grand Prix by AWS along with 5 other things. Yeah.
And I tried to do it in an Italian accent a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was. We got put on a terror watch list for that one. But so, Mike, in Buzzsaw for you as well. Have you guys watched all 3 races at once? I know we briefly touched on this before our break, but have you watched Monaco and then the Indy 500 and then the Coca-Cola 600 all in one day?
No, I think the closest I got is going to the Indy 500 is probably the only time I've actually watched the complete of one of those
Cover to
3
cover.
races.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so last year, Indy 500, amazing, fantastic. And I think this year I'm going to complete the trifecta for the first time. And I
Okay.
think I'm going to learn a lot about the 3 sports, and I'll be able to tell everyone which one's the best after watching them. So, like, your dad might be extremely valid. This might be way better. And
Yeah. Coach, what are our starting times this weekend? Do you know?
No, I'll get research on that in a second. Maybe while I'm looking that up, or research is looking that up. I forget we're on video. so
Our
I'm
team. Yeah.
just gonna know. Why don't we let Mike answer the question as well? Have you completed the triple?
Not in its entirety. I've seen bits and pieces of Monaco in the morning. I've seen the full Indy, and I've seen bits and pieces of the Coke 6 at night. But that's about it. Are you gents are planning on watching all a lot of miles tomorrow?
Gotta do them all.
how many miles is that?
It's 1,100 plus Monaco.
Well, and I can't tell you Monaco because that goes into the trivia.
Oh, okay. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you're not
Gosh,
gonna
more
do well.
numbers.
Is that our segue to trivia?
No, not
It would have been a really good one.
Look at him. He's now thinking like a podcaster. He's like, all right, how is it going to be easy for editing?
So if you're in the Eastern time zone, Monaco starts at 9 a.m.
Okay.
The Indy 500 starts at 12:45 p.m. technically, and the Coca-Cola 600 starts at 6 p.m. So that's 9, 12:45, and 6.
Are we going to see any drivers race in Indy and then also in Coca-Cola this year?
One.
Who's that, Mike?
Kyle Larson.
He's doing it again, huh?
Well, he didn't do it last year because of the rain delay. It didn't
Oh,
work out
that's
for him.
right. That's right. That's right.
He's sure going to try. He's got helicopters lined up at both airports and a private jet to take him between Indy and Charlotte. So, God bless him.
Dude, the sleep you have to get after that night, though, of just racing all day.
So what are
1,100
the odds he wins both?
None.
Not
Yeah.
happening.
Because if
Can
you
you-
win,
can
so
you
if you
run
win
that?
the Indy 500,
You're not going.
you're not going because they have like media obligations that go to like 7 or 8
You gotta
p.m.
drink
here.
milk and all that.
Yes.
fun,
Well, yeah, you do have to drink the milk.
You probably go to St. Elmo's.
Or-
I don't know.
By miracle, rain delay at the Coca-Cola 600.
But then it's not a true double if you because there's no
Yeah,
way you get there
that's true.
unless they had to do it on Monday, and then
That's
it's
true.
not a double.
Could you do second first?
No, like they just an hour and a half rain delay.
You still not making it.
What if he develops the ability to teleport?
Well,
That would be unique.
That's probably why he won the race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Doctor
yeah,
Strange
that-
would.
that-
that's a really good point.
If he went second first, that would be
Yeah, second first is probably the best it could go for him, which would be good for that guy. I'm
Good
gonna
day for him.
yeah. I hope
I'd be
I
happy.
hope that happens for him. I hope Pato O'Ward wins the Indy 500.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Already making a prediction, huh?
Not a prediction. It's happening.
We're not in that part yet.
Wow. Yeah, we haven't gotten to there.
Into predictions. Oh my bad. I'm bad at segueing.
No, but he knows all the
figure this out.
parts.
Well, why don't we take a quick break then? How about that? What do you
We
guys
still
think?
got more to do.
Well, what do you want to do?
And we can do. Well, I mean, we
You
still,
got the computer in front of you, brother.
yeah, I know. And you guys are driving the episode while I'm trying to look up data. So why don't we talk?
Research is looking at data.
Yeah, we were talking about the rule change,
Okay.
right, and the two
Yeah,
pit
yeah.
stops, and so I want to get your perspective on that, and as well as our esteemed guests here as well. So, like, do you think that having a mandatory 2 pit stop race is going to make a difference for Monaco?
I think it will for the top 10, like especially like we kind of referred to it a little bit before when you mentioned Isaac Hadjar, like having to kind of maybe stall a little bit for some clean air between him and Max Verstappen. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting in the top 10. Like we do see a couple of teammates like that are going to have that ability to do that for each other, where you might make it a little awkward in terms of like the timing between some of the drivers. Like, Tsunoda is not going to help Verstappen very much, but Hadjar is going to maybe help Liam Lawson out a little bit. So I think it'll be interesting in the sense that teams are going to have to start to use like a couple of different strategies throughout the weekend. So to me, that's the interesting piece of it, where it's like, okay, this is something new. We don't really know what's going to happen with it yet. So it just adds a little bit of excitement for me, honestly.
Michael, what about you?
Are you familiar with the rule change that we're talking about?
Very familiar. Very familiar.
He's a
You
listener of the
should
show.
So, how many tires do they have to use at Monaco? Do they have to use 2?
You still have to use 2 compounds unless it's wet.
Then you can use 3.
Then you can use 1. Yeah, 'cause
Allegedly.
if the FIA says it's a wet race, then you still, I believe they still have to complete the 2 pit stops, but they only have to use the 1 compound, which would be intermediates or full wets. But they never really use the full wets because then they just red flag it and say we're not racing. But yeah, so mandatory 2 pit stops and then 2 tire compounds.
So with the 2 pit stops, if they could go from their good compound to their bad compound and back to a good compound.
Yes.
They could.
Yes. I mean, they don't really like. It's not like IndyCar. So like IndyCar does like the striped reds and then the whites are like their harder compound. They only have the 2 compounds, right?
Unless it's wet, then you get a third.
Yes. In F1, it's a range of 3. So like this week, it's the C6, C5, and C4. The C6 being the softest and the fastest, but it deteriorates the quickest. The C5 being the intermediate, and then the C4 being the hardest, which will last longest, but it will be slower. And they have to use any 2 of those.
So with 2 pit stops, they could use
I mean, they could use all 3,
all 3.
but they probably won't. Right? It'd probably end up using the mediums and the hards, the C5 and the C4.
Is it supposed to rain? Why not just go fast? if you're
So
rocking
they
the
have
whole
to use
thing.
2 though.
So you have to switch your tires.
You do have to switch.
Oh, that's a bummer because I would just stick on the fastest ones the whole time.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's smart. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I don't know why they haven't thought of that.
That's probably why they came up with that rule.
Well, if it was 2
That's
pit
probably a
stops,
good
you
take.
could wear you got 3 you got 3 options.
I'd
you-
probably
you
go
could-
1, 2,
you-
3, or 1, 2, 2.
6, 5, 4. is
How
what
much
they
time
have.
do you typically lose?
I
at
would
Monaco?
go 6, 5, 5.
Get back to your research.
6, 5, 5.
6 is fast, right?
6 is the fastest. 6 is the softest.
Be like
And then-
6.56 if I was a
6.56?
if I was like a strategy guy that
Oh,
knows
could
nothing.
you? Oh, you could do that. You could do
You
2
could do
6s.
that.
Yeah. You seem to know something. You know what's up.
It's a thought.
It's a good thought.
Maybe
I think
he
that's
needs
the
help with
strat.
DraftKings account.
Just go fast. If they're gonna make you pit a bunch, then just
Yeah,
keep the
kind of
tires
like a
fresh.
bunch.
Yeah, I feel like that's a ton. I don't know. Is that more than normal?
Say that again.
2 pit stops. Is that more
How
than
many
normal?
miles is? Oh, we don't. It's trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten trivia yet. How many miles is Monaco?
Trivia.
Yeah, answer it.
We get pretty we can take our
How many
guesses.
hot dogs do you
Like,
think it takes?
We
to go
saw the
around
pathetic
Monaco?
performance I put in last week, and I have some help this week. So my guess is just as good as yours. But I think I have a pretty accurate idea of what Monaco is, and it's got to be like.
Oh, we're gonna find out. Let me tell you.
Okay, all right. I won't say it then.
I will tell you that Monaco average pit stop time loss is 24.6
Okay.
seconds.
Okay, compared to what usually?
That varies if you're talking across the entire, schedule. Like that's I can't do that off the top of my head. But like last week at Imola, a non-safety car pit stop was 28 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, could you Google AI it? Or?
I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I don't want to break the flow. Research isn't on that right now. But like, so in IndyCar, you watch a lot more IndyCar. I know we've gone to races and things, and you've told me about how they switch different tires. Do you think that this is just something that should be happening, or it's kind of mandatory? Like at some of the IndyCar races, they have to race twice on their intermediate tires and twice on their regular tires, etc. Like, do you find that to be interesting? Do you find it to be effective?
It's an interesting strategy, right? On all the ovals, they only use one tire. But when you hit the road courses, which F1 is all more or less a road course, I think it makes the two sports more similar.
Yeah. Why? So why do you like IndyCar more?
Because I don't have to wake up early to watch it.
That's fair.
That's a great answer.
That's fair. I mean, I can't argue with that. I think there's some merits to some different things as well. Like it is much more driver dependent. It's outside of Monaco, right? Monaco is much more driver driven. Try and say that 5 times fast.
What makes Monaco more driver driven than other tracks?
Monaco's all about the balls that you can carry into a corner and how fast you're going to exit it and how late you're going to brake. Everybody's basically running the same setup in terms of their floor and their downforce, etc.
But they all have different engines and different aero kits.
Well, they don't all because, right, you have customer teams, you have supplier teams. But their aero kits are basically the same. Everybody does a custom aero kit for Monaco because it's so different than all the other tracks. So it's very Monaco specific. And so the driver can really make the difference around Monaco because it is such a slow course that any like 10th of a second that you can pull out is very significant over the course of a lap. But should we take a break now and then you can do the painful part?
Yeah, we can get into the painful part.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back then.
Sponsored to you by Roback.
Welcome back to the Rear Wing Report, where we're going to play another round of Wavelength.
Woo! Yeah!
Yeah. All right. We're going to try and keep it F1 themed here. Maybe I'll go a little IndyCar for you. I'm going to start with the Ryan to my left. The viewers... I don't know how that would be. We're just going to go to my left. Coach McHugh.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready for you.
F1 main car livery design. So like they're non-special liveries. Just their regular car. A lot of dead air here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me. You have to give me think time.
Oh, okay. We're gonna give him think time.
So while he thinks about that, I have some hot takes for you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, has anybody seen the liveries for this race coming up tomorrow?
Yeah. How do you feel about the McLaren one?
I feel better about the Creed car, to be honest.
Oh, well, you're talking about Indy. I do love the Indy car. There's no way that wins though. Right? Where's
not a chance, but it's going to look good losing.
Can you take me higher?
Higher, but not faster.
Well, hopefully they don't fly in the air.
I have my answer.
All right, what is your answer?
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin. Okay. Ryan Cleary.
Buzzsaw, his name. He goes by Buzzsaw.
I go by Vasseur.
Please.
Respond to anything else.
Drive to Survive storylines that you can remember.
Thanks for that.
Because there's a lot of different.
You can remember.
You
mini
remember
storylines
precisely
in there.
3.
He doesn't like Pierre Gasly. We
No,
know
he
that
hates Pierre
already.
Gasly.
He's not the. I don't hate him.
I don't hate him. I just don't like him and don't respect him.
I need my think time.
Oh
Well,
man.
he is thinking that too.
Okay. So hey, while we're doing think time again, hopefully you don't need too much think time.
Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas is
Valtteri
okay.
Bottas.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And Michael Ruka.
Guess
Big
the
Mike.
pod. Big Mike.
Big Mike. IndyCar drivers.
Oof.
Is this all time?
No.
No, current.
Like
current
within the
schedule.
last, like let's say 3 years.
Callum Elliott.
Callum. Okay. That's like a nothing. 6.
3.
No, it's a 3 for
There's a 3.
Yeah.
Wait, so you think the Valtteri Bottas episode of Drive to Survive was a 3?
Yeah.
That's what that threw me off. That's
That's
like
a-
an 8 to me.
Yeah, that's a terrible answer. I was gonna
Yeah.
say 8 or 9.
Him
I mean,
in like the mountains,
tells
in a
me a-
sauna. Like
I might have
come
fallen
on.
asleep during that part.
it tells me a lot about you. But
Yeah.
okay.
What do you think
Callum,
about my
I-
Aston
that
Martin?
That makes a lot. Aston Martin, I like Aston Martin. It's a solid
Ah,
middle of the road.
it's so boring.
You're
It's like the
boring.
Ferrari, honestly. I mean, we all know what the worst one is, right? Or at least me and you.
No, you don't like Stick.
3, 2, 1, Sauber.
No, I disagree. I like the
Who
Sauber.
has the worst?
Anybody besides Sauber. Okay.
That's awful. That's a terrible take.
Well, speaking of awful and terrible, why
Is it
don't we
three?
get into trivia since
Yeah,
you're
it's
so
boring.
good
Yeah,
at this?
boring.
It's clean.
No,
All right.
the Alfa Romeo. Jeez.
It's time for trivia.
All right, let's go. Best segment of
Trivia.
the pod. My most
Trivia.
successful segment of the pod.
It's time for trivia, where my friend gets them all wrong. That's our AI song that I haven't put into AI yet. Okay,
We
Are
can
you guys
throw it
ready?
in.
you
Yeah.
all get your own answers. Now, 2 of you are sitting very close to me, so I'm gonna have to.
I'm
Okay.
just worried about me cheating.
Well, here, I mean, question number 1:
How long is Monaco?
what percent of the Monaco course is above sea level? We'll start with Ryan.
No,
Buzzsaw.
why
Clear.
me? Why me? We're gonna go with 12%.
Okay, Michael Ruga.
17%.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a high number then.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 75%.
18.
Oh, Coach McHugh, you are the closest. It is
Okay.
100% of the course. is
Ah,
above
that-
sea
So
level.
I was worried about that though because like once you go like downhill after turn 3,
Okay.
right, or turn 2,
Okay.
like it's all downhill. So I didn't know like
I have no clue. I was
After turn 4, you start going downhill.
no reference.
it's after turn 4.
Yeah.
But you don't go that far down.
I guess that would be
Down,
considered.
down, down, down.
I thought it was all in a tunnel underground.
What's the apex of Monaco?
What do you mean? Like the height?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
highest.
the highest, yeah.
89.5 meters.
Okay, so we weren't that.
How
far
many?
off.
We don't do things in meters, Steve. We do things in feet.
For our American listeners, what is that?
90% of our audience.
Well, yeah, 90.
Not to count out any of
Like
you guys in Poland
2,800.
or Bolivia or.
I think you have one Polish listener this week.
We do have one Polish listener. One Russian
Shout out
listener.
to him
Probably her, actually. I think that's like
and
293 feet.
her. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty tall.
No, that's pretty
Yeah.
big, yeah.
Research allegedly was on that. Okay, question number 2. So you all have 0 points so far. Shocking.
Don't look.
Do we get a point for being closest?
Keep all gets 1 point for me closest.
No.
No, this is not a participation trophy. Okay,
That's how we do things now.
not here.
It's 2025.
How many times have pole sitters won the race? There have been 70 races in F1 that have been F1 sanctioned
And Monaco?
at Monaco. How many times have pole sitters won the race?
I got my answer.
Oh, cool. Tell us that.
51.
Okay. Michael?
61.
Okay.
50.
Oh, 50. The answer is actually 32.
Okay.
I
was gonna say,
win.
It's gonna be
I
lower.
win. I was lower.
Yeah, there are 37 total winners. 32 have won from pole.
Give me
Has
my.
Max Verstappen ever won from pole?
Max
Yes.
Verstappen.
Can you give me my point?
Yes.
I mean, you don't get that point, but that's okay. You know.
From pole though, 3 years ago.
Okay. Question number 3.
He's not gonna research that.
No, I'm moving on. Which constructor has the most wins at Monaco, and how many do they have? Michael, we're going to start with you. This
Okay.
time. Do you have a clarifying question?
Nope.
I don't even know what a constructor is.
Nope.
The teams. Which team?
Ferrari.
Okay, how many do they have? You're saying Ferrari with how many?
12.
12?
I think it goes to McHugh next.
I think it doesn't.
I think it goes to Buzzsaw.
Okay. What was the question?
Which team or constructor has the most wins and how many?
It is Ferrari. However, it is much more. It is 17.
17.
Oh,
Okay.
significantly more.
And
Yeah.
Coach McHugh?
Okay, I'm also going Ferrari because I'm pretty confident in that answer.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 27.
Okay. Surprisingly, all 3 of you
Are wrong.
are incorrect.
Shocked.
It's McLaren.
Wow.
With 15.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. Those stats are courtesy of ESPN.
Thank you. Thank
What
you.
driver has the
Allegedly.
most wins on the track?
Allegedly.
Isn't it Michael Schumacher?
We're not. Listen, I'm doing the trivia. You're failing at the trivia.
All right, fine. Keep going. Keep going.
Just because your research didn't align with my questions. You ready for this next one?
Yeah.
All right. The
Driver has
hairpin.
most wins.
The hairpin turn is the slowest on the F1 calendar. How fast or slow do drivers take the turn on average? We're looking in miles per hour.
Oh, so we're back in miles now for our American listeners.
We do things in miles per hour here, as my co-host said.
I know the answer in kilometers, which is the biggest issue.
You know for sure.
So I just gotta do the conversion.
It's 1.6.
1.6.
Do you want me to do the conversion for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think I got it in my head. I think that's 33 miles per hour.
Okay, 33 miles per hour. Coach McHugh?
15.6.
15.6.
It's a hairpin turn
Hairpin turn
in Monaco.
in
It's
Monaco.
very slow.
It's very slow.
27.
They're flying. 33.
It is not 33.
Okay.
It is not, what'd you say?
15.6.
It is not 15.6. Mr. Ruka is the closest. It is 28 miles per hour on average.
Oh,
Ooh.
that was good. Dan, you were almost
If
right
you're playing
on.
that game
Price is right.
on IMDb, I'd be doing okay.
You're doing,
Fantastic.
yeah. That one. I haven't played
That
that
was
in
a
a while.
great. That was a
It's doing
great.
immaculate grid.
Okay.
F1 a mega grid would be cool.
Question number 5. How many drivers on the current grid have won at Monaco in F1? And can you name them? I will allow the 3 of you to confer together and
As
give one answer.
Okay.
Max is one.
Verstappen, Leclerc,
Hamilton.
Hamilton has Alonso.
Yes.
Alonso. Has like George. No, he messes up too much. Lando hasn't.
Mr. Consistency messes up too much.
No, I don't think Lando has.
Who else is Signs? His Signs? Signs might have. He could have one of the years that Lando messed up, or not Lando, Leclerc. You know. You're
Okay,
trying to
I
keep-
feel like we should lock in 5.
5 and we can name 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Is that a bad? You think
I'm
that,
cool with
like
that.
from
No,
an analytic standpoint,
that's,
you think
that's
that's
fine.
bad?
No, we can do that because it's probably it's more than we can name. It's got to be one we forgot.
Yeah, I feel like there's like 2 that we forgot. So let's go with 5.
Okay, 5. And you can name 4. Do you want to throw out a 5th guess?
Signs would be my 5th guess.
Signs.
What about you?
There's somebody I have to be forgetting.
I
Ask
trust
Grok.
Was it like Gasly?
Grok.
Oh, was it Pierre Gasly?
Could be.
Oh my gosh, was it? I have a weird feeling. I don't think it was. He
Choose
won a
one.
really big race in one of them. And I
Do you
was
want to
upset.
change your guess?
No.
Okay.
'Cause
Everybody that I know, we named. So no.
Okay. McHugh?
I'm sticking with my boys.
5 and 4.
So you're not guessing anybody else,
I won't guess.
but you think it's still 5.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's unfortunate. It is 4.
And we named all
and
four.
you named all 4.
No.
All right, we get half a point.
You talked yourself into a fit. I was so proud of you guys.
Oh, that was rough.
Dang.
And I made the ultimate decision, so that's on me.
Not.
All right.
It was a team effort.
How many miles long?
Yeah, but this is the burning question all night.
I know you guys have been ready for this one. How many miles long is the Monaco circuit?
So,
I
can
wanna
you
say
give
like
it to me
1.7.
in laps and how much each lap is? Or
No, you want to know the amount of laps, though?
yeah, I do want to.
How
How
about
about I
you
give
do
my
mine?
guess and then we can get an over under from the two others.
Okay, do you want to know the
I'm
lap?
gonna set the line at 1.7.
Okay, do you want to know the lap?
Miles
No.
per lap.
I'm
No.
gonna go just miles of the track.
You're saying 1.7 miles is the lap around. One lap.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you guys want to know the
is
lap
that
number?
we're doing it around? I thought it was how long was the whole race?
No.
Okay, one lap. Oh, I know.
Do you want to know the miles?
I
Or
wanna-
do you want to know the laps?
yeah,
78 laps.
78. So it's in kilometers, son.
No, I'm telling you, you need it in miles. I've converted it for you.
1.7. It's 2.2.
I think it's like 1.9
1.9.
miles. Yeah.
You
for
say
sure.
2.2. And what was your guess?
1.7.
1.7. It is 2.073 miles.
We were all pretty close.
Yeah, you're all
Yeah.
pretty close. Close
And
only
none
counts
of
in the
us
horseshoes.
get points.
Do you guys
And
feel like,
grades.
as listeners of the pod, do you feel like these questions are too challenging for somebody to
No,
answer?
honestly, like if I was someone like you who paid attention to the sport, I think I would probably be nailing this extremely consistently. I think if I had time to prepare for any of these. No, yes, they're very difficult. These are
Right,
I don't think they're that difficult. I mean, most people know that the Milwaukee Mile is not exactly 1 mile
Yeah.
around for any listeners,
Yeah.
and most people know that the Indy track is really not even 2.5. It's a little bit, I think, more than that.
Yeah.
Just like this, a little bit more.
It's like 2.51 or
It's
2.53.
a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I think we need to maybe potentially lower the difficulty.
But
Okay, well-
people who know the sport know
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
It's only gonna
yeah,
get
I was
harder from here
gonna-
on. Like,
Well, we're going to raise the difficulty for
yeah.
the last question.
Yeah,
Are you ready for this one?
I'm excited.
No.
All right. How many the average American cigarette end to end would it take to circle Monaco one time? To circle the circuit.
How long
One
do you guys think a cigarette is? 4 inches?
How many
Oh, they're
cigarettes?
not 4 inches.
No,
they're
you
3
need to
inches.
know in centimeters. We got to convert this to kilometers.
No.
No, he said in miles.
No. How many cigarettes do you have to place end to end to complete one lap around Monaco?
Okay, so if they're 3 inches, we'll go 3. I like that.
You're not supposed to be doing math on the show.
It's okay.
You're supposed to ballpark it.
Yeah, ballparkly around 45,000.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's go 45,000. Let's lock
That's
that in.
actually not a bad guess, but I think it's slightly more. I think it's.
Oh, it's
around
gonna be less.
50
It's actually gonna be less.
I think it's like. You think they're how big's 3 inches? Like I think
Depends on what
I'm
part
going
about.
with 54.
Depends on
I'm
what
gonna
part
go
of
with
it.
54,000?
Yeah.
Okay. You said how many?
Can we be within 1,000?
Sure, I'll give you 10,000.
I said
Yeah,
45,000.
45.
Probably
You said
more or
how
less.
many?
54.
54. Coach McHugh.
I'll go 51.
Okay. You're all over. It is 39,726
You
cigarettes
told
laid
me to
end
go
to end.
under and I didn't listen.
I told you to go under.
I'm not good at math. I think I'm severely.
You're not good at F1 trivia either.
The questions
neither
are
am
too
I,
hard.
so-
I'm on Coach McHugh.
Banana
side.
for scale though? Like how many bananas is that?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Oh, easy.
I mean, I can get research on it. But I mean, like, how many do you think it is? How many bananas do you think it
It's
is?
probably like 15,000 bananas, I would say. For
I'm
scale.
going to go like 17.
I'm gonna go 12.
12 bananas total?
12,000. 12,000.
Okay. It's 3,000. Well, no, that's
Well,
17,518.
What did you say?
Well, I don't know what I said.
I think he said 15,000.
no,
17.
no, I might have said 17.
Oh, all right. Well, hey, you almost got a point there. Good job, buddy. Okay, so let's get into it. So the Monaco circuit, as we all know, first held an F1 race in 19. Legendary.
Yeah.
Held an F1 race in 1950.
Allegedly, or it did?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah, not allegedly. But so a pretty low top speed, right? It's not the fastest race. It's more technical in terms of setting the car up, getting in and out of corners and things like that. And the hairpin is probably the most, either that or the climb from the start finish line is probably the two most iconic parts of the racetrack. And then the viewing area, being the swimming pool, is probably the most well known out of the entire circuit. But as you watch Monaco, right, are you interested in the race? Are you interested in the pageantry? Are you interested in the history? Like, what's the thing that gets you, interested in turning on Monaco? Or like, when you hear about it, like, what do you think of?
The pageantry, for sure. 100% the pageantry. I'm watching the race and I see people on their yachts. Who was I've seen a video, someone crashed and went out to their yacht right after.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that? Was that Kimi Räikkönen?
Might have been.
I think it was
remember.
Kimi Räikkönen crashed and then went to his yacht with his buddies. The pageantries, the celebrities, you're watching from your balcony. That just seems really cool to me. That's very interesting because the race itself should just be kicked off of the entire entire calendar. The race itself is extremely boring.
Is this one of your hot takes?
No, it's not even a hot take.
It's a hot take.
They need to make the
It's a fat fact.
Yeah, it's a fat fact or cold hard facts.
Okay.
They need smaller cars or something because if what you are making a race more exciting by pit stopping more, that's not a good move. It's not exciting. Well, because they're trying to make it more accessible to the people in the back by pit stopping more than making it easier to race. And I think that would be the move.
I'm in it for the race.
You're in it for the race?
Yeah.
To watch no one move.
Yeah.
4 passes.
Dude, I don't care about the celebrities that are there. I could care less.
You don't care about the history.
I never even finished watching the movie 7 and I had 30 minutes left.
Yeah,
I could care less about celebrities. I could care less. I care about the racing, and I care about qualifying, essentially, I guess I should say.
Do you think they should switch qualifying? So, Mike, do you watch IndyCar qualifying?
Rarely.
Rarely. Did you watch the 500 qualifying?
Sure did not.
Oh, interesting. So they go out one at a time.
Correct.
And they do a 4-lap average.
Yep.
In IndyCar,
And if they cheat, they go to the back.
Yes. Well,
This year.
yeah. Some of them do. If they crash and cheat, or possibly cheat, then they don't. But in IndyCar, they go out one at a time and they set an average lap time.
Yep.
In F1, they do Q1, Q2, Q3. They're all out on track or can be out on track at the same time. Would you be more interested in Monaco or other F1 races if they did it IndyCar style, where it's kind of like an average of your top lap speed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think that's fair. Because you can't blame anybody else. You can't say I got in this guy's draft or I didn't, or this guy was too slow in front of me and caused me to go slower or whatever. You can't. There's no excuses when you're out there by yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Like, we saw impeding and we saw red flag violations and we've seen grid penalties over the past couple of days where it's just like, no, let them go out one at a time. Let's see what each car can do. I don't hate the average. Like, I think if you're going to have a track, like going to Buzzsaw's point here, you're going to have a track where there is very minimal passing, why not make the qualifying much more exciting and make that a spectacle as well?
Can I make the case the other way?
Yeah, go. Of course, I don't expect anything different.
Well, a lot of times I agree with you. Like, I think that in terms of like driver safety, it would be better to go out one at a time, especially in a course like Monaco. But I think that there is an element of, especially with F1, like IndyCar, it is solely the driver because the chassis is so similar, and the setup and everything else. So you're looking at the engine.
Chassis are identical. There's 2 engines to choose from, and they're identical.
True, but a little bit of your setup is slightly different. But in F1, like everything can be different. So I think that there is like an aspect of that. I think that it's interesting then to see like how do you plan it out? Like who are you, can you find the clean air? Can your team function together and figure this out all on the fly as everything is going wrong? Do you risk it, and hope that there's not a yellow or a red flag and try and be the last one out on the track, etc. And I think that also then allows you to have maybe some of those lower performing or lower income teams kind of jump up sometimes and kind of maybe be out of position, as it were, due to their strategy. And so you get a little bit more of a unbalanced table, especially on a place like Monaco. That can be interesting. It's like Fernando Alonso, like Aston Martin's been nowhere for the most part. And then the last 2 weeks, good qualifying strategies, etc. They've been, up in the middle of the pack. So I think that it lends itself to a certain interesting quality when it comes to qualifying.
Actually, a point. I honestly let's put them in go-karts and see how fast they can go around it.
Hey, I don't
sprint
mind
racing go-karts. Would you be a fan of sprint race that way?
I told you, sprint race, the fastest drivers go in the slowest cars, the slowest drivers go in the fastest cars. You do it that way. By the way, shout out to the great artwork behind us.
It's a great aesthetic piece.
The vibes are immaculate.
The feng shui of the workers is amazing.
But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do predictions. The predictions are going to be fourfold this time. We have our 2 guest pickers, and we're going to have some hot takes from Coach Cleary as well. So look forward to those. We'll kick off our next category, our next segment, with Coach Cleary's hot takes.
We're doing it live.
All right, and we're back. Ryan is texting his F1 gambling support therapist, and the rest of us are getting ready to make our predictions, which won't go well. But we have a couple of special guest pickers with us today. So the way we do things is pretty simple. You missed out on qualifying, so we will do our podium predictions. We'll do last point, so who's going to get 10th place. We will do last place. Then we'll do our best bet. Like, what is the thing you feel most confident about happening? And then we will do our long shot bet of the week. So, like, what's the kind of crazy thing that you think might happen, right? We've only hit one of those this entire year. I did hit it. Shout out to me, Self 5. And here we go. Okay, so Coach McHugh, we'll start with you. Since you're obviously ready to go.
Yep.
Who is your top 3 for the race tomorrow? Who's your podium? Podium prediction here.
If I wanted to really be safe, I would just predict the top 3 right now. But I'm actually going to predict that Leclerc is going to somehow get past Norris. And we're going to go Leclerc, Norris, Piastri.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Dumb guess, but I'm going for it.
Well, you know what they say. Dumb guesses lead to...
best practice?
Sure, yeah. Why not?
Good money if it works out.
Yeah, listen, you could probably buy a beach house. Mr. Ruka.
I think it's just going to go 1, 2, 3, Norris, Leclerc, and Piastri for sure.
That's a great prediction for you.
There's no passing in Monaco, so why would any passing occur in those top 3?
I'm actually going to go Piastri, Verstappen, Hadjar with my top 3. I think that Norris and Leclerc get into a lap 1 incident and are out of the race. And then we finish as we started with Piastri in first, Verstappen in second, and Hadjar in third.
I'm going to have to go with Piastri, Hadjar, and Hamilton actually here. I think Piastri is up and coming. I think he has the willpower to be better than both the 2 he finishes in front of, Verstappen and Hamilton, in his future. Hadjar, the best rookie in the field, and then I think Hamilton just gets his wings back under him for one more week. It's always good to see the old timers show up in big races.
You do know that hot takes for you is in them a little bit, right?
That might be part of them.
Okay, all right. And then who's your last point? So who's going to come in 10th place?
Who's going to come in 10th place in the race?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be Alex Albon.
Alex Albon. Okay. I'm actually going to go with Carlos Sainz. I think he moves up 1 position. There's a little bit of chaos, and he gets that.
I think Ocon falls back 1.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like that. Well, I don't like it for the Haas, but I like it for you. What about you, Coach McHugh?
Fernando Alonso, Liam Lawson. I'm going Liam Lawson.
Okay.
Or he's crashing out and he's going to get last point. How it always happens to me.
What about our Logan Sargent Memorial Last Place Award? Who gets last place?
So my problem over the past 7 weeks now has been
That's your problem.
that I've gone Gabriel Bortoleto for the majority of the time. He's always gotten last, but because of our technical ruling of you have to be the last car that it's not the last car that finishes the race. So somebody's going to crash. I'm going to assume that is going to be Pierre Gasly.
So the first car that crashes?
Yeah, essentially is what he's choosing,
Yeah.
Love the pick.
Thanks.
What if Sainz crashes? Gets out.
I'd
be
cry.
really sad.
I'd shed a tear.
I love Williams. But okay. I'm gonna
I
go.
said what if. I
Oh, is that your?
It could be.
Well, what is your prediction?
You can shed a tear for me.
Okay, so you're going Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be very basic here. I'm gonna go Ollie Behrman. I think he ends up in last place. He starts in last, he finishes in last. What about you, Buzzsaw?
I think George Russell. I think his car is going to give out on turn 1. I don't think it's going to turn back on. And I think it's gonna be,
bold predictions is
That's
at the end. Like you're
Not a hot take. Yeah.
that's not a hot take. He didn't even make it through qualifying. I don't think that's too crazy.
okay. All right. What about your best bet? What do you feel most confident about happening?
Most confident about happening, I see Piastri and Lando Norris crashing into each other, battling through a corner. And
okay.
taking away their positions. Although I do think Piastri's going to win. I think Norris is going to have to retire. I think Piastri's going to maintain first position.
Okay. My best bet is that Fernando Alonso will be in the top 5. I think he beats Isaac Hadjar. I'm just going to switch it up off of my podium prediction. I think that if I trust anybody, it's him. I think this is a driver's circuit. He's the most experienced driver on the grid. I think he's going to do a great job.
This is why you fail every week.
I know. I'm just scattershot. I had it last week. I had the number of everything.
This is the sure bet thing?
Yeah. What do you feel most confident about?
I think there's going to be like 5 passes and Max has one of them.
I like that. Honestly, I do like that. 5 overtakes.
Okay.
It's kind of fun. I like it.
Okay. Wait till you hear my long shot bet. It runs counterintuitive to everything that I've said so far. All right. What do you got for best bet, Coach McHugh?
Both McLarens in the top 3.
Okay. All right. What is your long shot bet? This is where we can make some money, folks, or lose a lot of money. Again, hold on. Let's make our disclaimer. This is not betting advice. This is just for entertainment.
No. Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT told us to say that.
Yeah, and I didn't ask Grok this week, so
you're definitely not winning.
so I'm flying blind here. I'm gonna go. There will be at least 6 overtakes, and
on track,
okay. And at least 6 different constructors in the top 9.
Wow. Okay.
Yep, teams got
it. We learned what constructors mean.
Yeah.
So
what is your long shot bet? The one that you might not happen, that you can make a lot of money on.
Max drops to 9th.
Ooh. Okay.
He has a pass, but he
falls back.
Falls back.
Okay. I don't know why I looked at you. I'm up. My bold take is that, and I told you this runs counter to everything that I've said so far. There are no safety cars, virtual safety cars, or red flags.
Wow.
I hate it.
I was at a race that had that one time.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was at Road America.
How'd that go?
Rossi passed pole sitter in the first turn, second turn maybe, and led the race. And there was no cautions, no nothing, and that was it.
Sounds like you're watching Max Verstappen.
Yeah,
did sound very.
Speaking of Max Verstappen, we might have the Max Verstappen of hot takes right here. What is your long shot bet, Buzzsaw?
Long shot bet is Alex Albon take the podium. I think he's gonna win it.
Take a podium?
Yeah, to win it.
Okay,
Oh,
from
that's-
10th. Wait, to win?
Yeah, I think he's gonna win it.
10th to first.
Yep, 10th to first. I think he's
All
gonna
right,
win
hold
it.
on.
Probably
The
not-
longest of long shot
Hey,
bets.
if you want to make some money, this
What
is
are
not
the-
financial
What
advice.
are the
Hey.
odds right now of Alex Albon winning the race? It has to be
I'm
plus
looking it up.
2,000.
He's my
But you
favorite
put a
on Drive.
dollar on it,
He's my
you win
favorite on Drive
2,000.
to Survive.
That's true.
He's my favorite racer, so he's got to win.
Okay, current odds on Alex Albon to win the race
As of this recording,
as of 9:45 p.m.
Eastern time.
15,000 to 1. So you put $5 down, you're winning $755.
Well, when I have a really nice house next year,
do you think
We'll know why.
$755 is buying you a really nice house?
I'm
bet
using
you
this
like
as
$5.
evidence in court.
$750.
Buzzsaw will be paying for the hotel next
I
year.
took out a loan. Actually, this is not financial advice.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, it's not.
Okay, so we finished that. What are your hot? You said you had some hot takes for
I think I
us.
spat most of them in the past 15 minutes. I don't think we need much more than what I've
Okay.
given the audience.
What about Indy, though?
Yeah, Indy. Okay.
Who?
So who do you think wins the Indy?
I'm going Pato O'Ward. He was robbed last year. Josef Newgarden cheated. And we're going to see a win this year. I'm getting my money back.
Is that a threat to DraftKings?
I'm looking into the camera for that
I
one.
know.
I'm getting my money back.
This is not a threat to DraftKings. It's a maybe a promise to himself. Suit yourself. Michael, who do you see winning the Indy 500 mile?
I'd love Rossi to win. He's my favorite driver, but that's not going to happen, I don't think. Pato O'Ward's got a decent chance, but what I'd really like to see, even if Newgarden cheats, I want to see him in the top 10. I want to see him just pass like 23 cars.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be great.
You know, I was at Alexander Rossi's win, the 100th winning. He won it on fumes.
Yeah, I wasn't at that year. I came every year since then,
Yeah.
except for 2020 when none of us,
When none of us were here.
because no fans were there.
Yeah. You know. But my prediction is Alex Palou. It's not a long shot. He wins pretty much every race in IndyCar right now, so
It's not a long shot.
yeah. It's just I just think he's gonna win.
He might.
I mean, he might. Buzzsaw, what about you?
I'm gonna have to go with my man Pato O'Ward. I took him last year.
You thought he was Irish last year.
I
right?
did think he was Irish. I'm Irish, and I thought I was keeping the solidarity. But he
Yeah, he's from the continent, the same continent.
it's the vibe, and I love him. And he got me so close last year, and I believe in him, and he is my guy. He's not Irish.
Yeah.
He's not,
No.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
not the same continent.
How many?
It's all right.
So it's supposed to be low temperatures, good cloud cover. How many yellow flags do you think we see?
Hopefully less than last year, boys.
Mm,
I'm gonna go 2.
remember
Two?
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be a
Oh,
lap 1 problem.
It's Indy. There's going to be 5, at least.
I'm gonna go with 0.
0. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go 4. So I think we got our predictions in.
Any red flags?
No red flags.
I'm gonna go with 3.
They're courteous of our team.
Not happening.
0 yellow.
0 yellows,
Are we gonna get
3 reds.
Are we gonna get a red flag with 4 laps to go?
Better not. And then okay, finally, Coca-Cola 600. Who wins the race?
Not Kyle Larson.
Not Kyle Larson. Okay, and so you're taking the field.
Taking the field.
McHugh,
Oh. Bubba.
Bubba Walls.
Yeah.
Is Danica still racing?
No, he's not.
Well, but she might be
I
announcing.
don't know anyone in the.
Okay,
I'm gonna watch it.
you're
though.
gonna go Denny Hamlin.
Definitely.
All right, that's
Denny
awesome.
Hamlin.
I'll go
Coach
William.
Bell.
I'll go William Byron.
All right. It's
Uh,
a bold move.
You know, hey, some might say it's a bold move to podcast from Indy in a hotel room when you have no idea what you're doing.
And Stingray Rob will probably win Indy tomorrow.
Oh,
Not a chance.
again, not financial advice. Did he make the field?
Yes.
Okay.
Stingray Rob has the coolest name in Indy.
He does.
Yeah.
That's an awesome name. I don't
Off
know
of
who
pure
this guy
vibes,
is,
he's
but
winning the race.
But
I
hey,
might have to change my bet.
stay tuned. We'll be recapping all this. Monaco, Indy 500, Coca-Cola 600. Probably the Pacers
Sometime
game
soon.
tomorrow. We're gonna come back from the Indy 500. We're gonna get after it, podcasting our butts off. So hopefully you follow along. Follow our Instagram. Our what else do we have?
TikTok.
We haven't posted on TikTok.
TikTok. We haven't posted there, but follow us. Just get our numbers up.
Basically,
Twitter.
Rear Wing Report on everything.
Yeah, pretty
This
much.
guy knows.
He knows.
Just
Yeah.
Google us.
But hey, if you are the top Instagram commenter for the next month, there will be a little prize going out to you. So make sure you download, rate, review, and subscribe. Make sure you comment on Instagram. Send us your thoughts and feedback, and we will be coming at you in the next day or so.
Yeah, gentlemen, thanks for joining us today.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Good
thank you
pleasure.
very much.
Pleasure.
It's been great.
This is like church. Peace be with you.
Peace.